Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to my live stream. Happy Saturday, and also happy Valentine's Day. So, today's topic is I'm going to be talking about how to calm your thoughts and calm your mind when you feel like you don't have any control. Peace of mind is one of the most rich things that we can have in life. I feel rich, I feel wealthy because I have control over my mind. I feel like I have control over my emotions to some extent. I feel like I can step on my yoga mat, I can do some breathing exercises, and because of the power that I know my mind can hold when I just use the tools that I have readily available to calm my mind, that I have that autonomy and sense of control. And that's something that everyone wants, right? Like we all want to be more in control of our mind, our thoughts. And to some extent, I feel like we know that it's like our natural birthright to be able to be in control of these things, our thoughts, and the ways in which we deal with stress. So, this is day 14 of 28 days of going live. And let me tell you a story. Well, not a story, just in general, let me tell you something. The past couple of days, committing to this live stream daily thing has been really difficult for me. And the reason why I'm doing this, one of the reasons why, is not just to put out more content out there on social media, but it's also a challenge to me to, because I have so much to say. And it's really not just what's on my mind, it's what I know people are relating to. A lot of people want to hear, and a lot of people have thoughts and experiences that through my own experiences, I can affirm for other people. Not only that, however, I recently have had difficult times or difficulty committing to myself. What I mean by that is, for me, my day-to-day routines are completely up to me. If I want to get out of the bed at 8 a.m. and go to the gym, and after that, I have other things on my to-do list. I usually go to the gym in the morning. And after that, I have other things on my to-do list. I could just get up, go to the gym. The rest of the things on my to-do list, they don't get done because I feel like just getting up and going to the gym was enough productivity for me. And some days I have days like that where anything that was on my to-do list, like going live, as a commitment to myself, was it was something extra that I didn't need to do. But this here is something that I feel like I need to do to commit to myself and to show myself that I need to commit. I need to focus on the things that I want to put my energy into. Hello, good morning. That's 8790. So yeah, this is day 14 of 28 days of going live for mindfulness and mental health talks. So if you're enjoying this series, give this live stream a thumbs up. And if you've watched in the past, thanks so much for watching in the past. For the past few weeks, you know what? One thing I'm going to dedicate right now is to sit down and literally plan out the rest of the live streams for this month. Why not? Because I think it would help a lot of you all who want to get on live with me to plan to get on. And this is this channel is about the collective of people, how we can have conversations about mindfulness and mental health and releasing stigmas from our mind about mental health and find ways to keep calm, keep the stress away, and live our life with more ease, with more relaxation, with more softness. All right, so today we're talking about 5 ways to calm your mind even when you feel like you can't control your thoughts. So so far I have 2 points, but I feel like I'm gonna have 3 points. So let's just talk about my first 2 points. Number one is focus on one thing, and number two is let go of control. Another one is, I think that's it for right now. So, oh, here's another one. It really is. The present moment is the only real thing. The past doesn't exist anymore because it passed. And the future also doesn't exist because it hasn't happened yet. So the present moment, and I'm going to write this down. The present moment, and I'm a notes girly, is the only real thing. All right, let's talk about the first thing. The first way that you start to get control over your thoughts so you can find more calm is to focus on one thing. I have had an anxiety attack before. It doesn't happen often for me. However, I've had an anxiety attack before. So I know how it feels to feel like you can't catch your breath, to feel like you are maybe losing your motor functions in your body because the anxiety is literally manifesting itself in your body, from your mind to your body. It's difficult. It can be difficult when anxiousness takes over your motor control to remember to focus on one thing. However, what we need to remind ourselves is that taking control over your mind and your mental functions is a daily practice that we have to consistently practice and not only do when we feel the anxiety approaching. It's kind of like this. You know that your body needs healthy food like greens for your vitamin B12 and folic acid, and you know that you need berries for B12 and vitamin C and stuff like that. So you're not going to eat junk every single day, and then all of a sudden when you feel like you're getting fat you start eating fruits and vegetables on the day that you're like, wait, I've gained a lot of weight. Let's do a diet. We know it's not supposed to work like that. But that's how we treat our brain. We treat our brain like, I know, we say to ourselves this. I know that I should be trying to meditate or trying to do a breathing exercise in the morning so I can calm my mind. But I feel like that takes too much time. And we don't incorporate these daily practices in our life. So whenever we do have a huge breakdown, a huge mental breakdown, it's during that time that we say, now I'm going to start meditating. Now I'm going to start, I don't know, going to therapy, going to counseling, getting help. And really, just like the functions of our body, if we practice preventative care with our brain, we will have a lot more control over random times, or maybe they're not random for you, that stress and anxiety starts to take over our brain, our mind, and our body. Because I know personally what that feels like. And personally, I still experience anxiousness. However, I know that there are ways to prevent an overwhelm of anxiety from attacking my brain. So, day to day, here's what we need to practice to prevent that from happening. Focus on one thing. When I meditate, my one thing is the breath. So, when I meditate, and you can do this from anywhere to from 5 to 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes is the optimal amount of time. And if you can do more, if you have time for more, do more. But from 5 to 20 minutes a day. If you have 5 minutes a day, then do 5 minutes. If you have 20 minutes a day, do 20 minutes. You can sit eyes closed or eyes open, but eyes closed is usually better. Focus on one thing. So right now, I'm focusing on my breath. I'm feeling my breath coming in through the nose. I'm feeling my breath going out through the nose. And I'm feeling my breath cycle itself over and over and over. And it allows me to focus because the breath is something that is on a constant cycle. It doesn't stop. The reason why the breath is used to focus the mind and to gain control over your thoughts is because you're always on a cycle of breath. It's constantly flowing. And something that is constantly moving or flowing is quite simple to focus on. You can hear it, just listen to your breath. You can feel it, you can feel your breath coming in, going out. You can maybe visualize the breath. Whatever it is, focus on it. And another reason why the breath is super simple to focus on during meditation is because it reminds us of the present moment. I'll talk about this in my third point, but the present moment is the only thing that's real and true right now. We don't know the future. The future is not real. However, when anxiety is present, it means that we are having almost obsessive thoughts about the future, thoughts about an outcome that isn't real. It's only a figure of our imagination. That's why anxiety isn't helpful, because we only get anxious about future things. If you think about it, how often do you get anxious about things that have already happened? There's no need for us to ever get anxious about past events because they have already happened. We may be taking thoughts from past experiences and assuming that the future will be just like it was in the past. And our anxiousness about the future may be based on past events, but we never have anxiousness about the past. We always have anxiousness about the future. So the future is as if you are having anxious thoughts, whereas the past, on the opposite hand, is more of a depressive state. The future is more of an anxious state, and the past is more of a depressive state. And the reason why I say the past is more of a depressive state is because if we dwell in the past, and if our mind is constantly recycling itself with past thoughts, past regrets, past hurt that we're holding on to, those are depressive like thoughts. And the more that we hold on to those past thoughts and try to bring them into the present moment, we're still never satisfied because the past has already become the past. The past and the future both have no advantage to us right now. And that is why focusing on the here and the now, putting your mind at ease with the present moment will be really the only thing that will bring our mind a sense of calmness when our mind is feeling chaotic. So let's put a pin in that. I'm going to really dive deeper into the present moment thing later on. So that's what happens when you focus on one thing. Your mind becomes rooted in this present moment. When you focus on one thing, it could also be your body. So again, when I have had an overwhelm of anxiety before, maybe you call it a mental breakdown, maybe you've had anxiety attacks, breathing difficulties, all of those things. It's really difficult to remember to focus on one thing. However, if you do remember to focus on one thing, you could also use your body movement to focus whenever you're feeling anxious. So imagine your mind is just spinning with thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. You feel like you can't control it. This is one way to get control immediately. Start to tap your fingers together. This is a way of moving and starting to focus your brain on your body movement. It's another way of your mind being focused in the present moment because your fingers are tapping each other. So first, you can inhale and tap the thumb to the pointer finger on both hands. Then you can exhale and tap your thumb to your middle finger. Then you can inhale again, tap your thumb to your ring finger. Exhale again, tap your thumb to your pinky finger. Then, as you tap your fingers together, then you can start to incorporate syncing up your breath with your body movement. This is a form of yoga. You don't have to call it yoga, but it is. Literally, yoga is your mind and your body being in sync. That's it. You don't have to be in some crazy back bend, headstand. I mean, it's not crazy. I do yoga like that and I enjoy it with my body. But literally, this is all yoga is. It's not even affiliated with anything of another quality other than your body movement and your breath and your mind. Mind, body, breath. That's it. That's yoga right there. All the other add-ons are up to you of how you are the lens that you view yoga with. Anyways, inhale, tap your thumb to your pointer finger. Exhale, tap your thumb to your middle finger. Inhale again, tap your thumb to your ring finger. Exhale again, tap your thumb to your pinky finger. And then repeat over and over and over again until you feel like your mind has calmed down. This would be a very simple process for people who often struggle with having thoughts that are uncontrollable. When you feel like your mind is racing and you can't find stillness inside of your mind, this is one of the main things that I would recommend that you do. However, just going back to the fact that this has to be a practice, a daily practice that we do in order to remember that when we are anxious, when there are events that come up in our lives that make us anxious, afraid, worried, we have these practices that we can pull out of our back pocket, but you can pull it out of your back pocket because you already practice it daily. Going back to this idea of only Why would we only eat healthy for our body when we start to gain weight or when we feel like our body is getting sick? But all the other parts of our lives, like all the other days of our lives, we eat junk food. You can't eat junk food every single day. And then on the day that your body gets sick, you say, okay, I'm going to start eating healthy now. I mean, you can. And when you do that, it will start to make your health better if we stay consistent. However, a better way to do that, a better way to be healthy all the time would be to constantly have a lifestyle of eating healthy. Because the body only shows those signs of sickness after months and years of not doing any type of maintenance to keep that health balanced. So let's apply that same principle to our brain, to our mind. In order to have a healthy sense of control over our brain and our thoughts, let's establish a daily practice of mindfulness that we can apply even in the situations where we feel the most anxious. So my first point was focus on one thing. You can focus on your breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, or you can focus on your body movement, tapping your fingers to your thumbs. And if you know any other breathing technique or meditation technique or practice that you want to do day to day, then do that. There's tons of other types of like forms of meditation that you can do. I think that you can do and you should do what you feel suits you best, but whatever you do it daily. Like I said, 20 minutes per day is the best amount of time to do your meditation mindfulness practice. And I use meditation and mindfulness interchangeably because you're being mindful when you meditate. 20 minutes is the best amount of time. But if you have only 5 minutes, then do 5 minutes. If you have only 5 minutes to do this or to do this, then do that and do it for 5 minutes. If you have 10 minutes a day to do that, then do it. If you have 20 minutes, even better. Number two, the second way to gain control over your thoughts when you feel like you can't calm your mind is to actually let go of this sense of control. Control is a perceived thing, especially when the context of control is having control over our bodies. Sometimes we have less control over our bodies than what we think. Sometimes we have less control over the events in our lives as we think. The reason why I advise for letting go of control when we're talking about our thoughts is because the mind isn't really meant for us to control it. Our thoughts aren't really meant for us to control them. Because we're human and we want to have this sense that we can control every moving part of our lives, oftentimes our intentions that we put behind our actions are of selfish gain. So in the moment when we're trying to control our thoughts, you may think something like this, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at meditating. I can't control my thoughts. Why can't my thoughts just go away? Why can't my mind just be calm? This is so frustrating for me. I just want to have control so I can stop being anxious. That's a very valid thought process. And it's not selfish inherently to say that you want control so that you can stop being anxious. But the reason that we're anxious is not because we can't control our thoughts. The reason why we're anxious is because we have an acceptance issue and we have a surrender issue. The reason that we're anxious is honestly because we try to control and manipulate things to our liking. Like, there's things, events that happened in my life recently that I had no control over. I recently lost a loved one in my family. And losing a loved one is something that you can't foresee. It's very unfortunate and it hurts. And that pain that you feel from that is inevitable. However, if I tried to control situations and control outcomes, I would probably choose to not have that person pass away. I would choose to have that person in my life forever. That's a selfish reason because I feel pain when somebody passes away in my life. I want to be able to control the outcomes of that not happening because I want to avoid feeling pain. Not wanting to feel pain is it's completely valid. However, wanting to often control the outcomes in my life in order to not feel pain is not valid. So, because we like to avoid hurt and we like to manipulate things in our lives, we need to release the sense that we have to control the outcomes in our lives. Therefore, applying that to our mind and our thoughts. The main way to control our thoughts is to actually let go of control and surrender our thoughts and say, I give up trying to control my thoughts. I'm just going to observe what happens in my brain, but I'm going to still, like we said in the first point, find something to focus on to calm my mind. The point of finding calmness and stillness and relieving anxiety and stress in the mind is not controlling the thoughts. It is learning how to focus. Again, I'll say that. It's not about control. Meditation is not about control. Finding peace in life is not about control. Finding joy in life is not about control. Being happy is not about control. It's not about manipulating the outcomes in life. It's about acceptance and finding peace in that whatever happens in life, whatever happens in your brain, because these are parallel themes, that whatever it is, we will accept it. And even if it brings us pain, find peace with the fact that it's going to be there whether we like it or not. But once we accept it, we will inadvertently have gained that level of control that we were seeking in the first place. Because honestly, control isn't what we seek for. Control isn't what we seek to have. It's peace that we seek to have. But the means of getting it often is controlling and manipulating our situations in life. But if it's peace that we're trying to attain, we get there through letting go, through releasing control, through acceptance of what reality is, of what the present moment is. And then through that acceptance, we gain the outcomes that we want to receive anyways, which is peace, joy, happiness, love of all beings, no matter what their views are, no matter who hurt us, no matter who we haven't forgiven, just this peace within ourselves that nobody can steal away from you and nobody has given you. You found it within yourself. So that's number 2. It's really letting go of control. And that's how letting go of control ultimately is the thing that brings us peace, not control itself. This is good. So far, if you're watching this, whether live or on the replay, give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps me find my people, and it helps not even my people, our people find us. So this is the Holistic Flow Collective. And I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Lauren, and I like to talk about mental health, meditation, and mindfulness lifestyle. And I want to help people gain the peace of mind that they've been searching for throughout their lives, that they can gain from within. So, yeah, if you have enjoyed my series so far on mental health talks, give it a thumbs up. If you're watching on the replay, type in the comments below. Let me know what's your favorite part of these talks so far. So, number 1 was focus on one thing. Number 2 was let go of control. Number 3, the present moment is the only real thing. I talked about earlier how focusing on the future brings us more anxiety because nothing in the future is real. It's only a figment of our imagination that we have fabricated based upon events that have happened in the past. And we worry and stress that, oh my gosh, the past is also going to recycle itself and become my future. But we have little to no thought. If you're worrying about the future, you obviously have little to no thought that you can change the future based upon what you do in your present moment. We have that right, that autonomy to change any type of future outcomes that might occur based upon how we handle situations, how we respond to situations, and how our mindset is right here, right now. So the future, worrying about the future brings on senses and emotions of anxiety. Whereas worrying about and dwelling on the past brings about depressive feelings, because the past events are also things that don't exist anymore. They're collections of memories and data that our mind has, that if we bring it into our present moment circumstance, it has no validity. The past is left to be meant. The past is meant to be left there, exactly where it is in the past. The present moment is the only thing that's real. The only thing that if we focus on this and only this, we gain peace of mind out of it. And we can only gain that by having intentional awareness about the present moment, accepting that anything, any circumstance that could affect us emotionally or mentally is going to be. And also not trying to change any outcomes. Instead, erring on the side of acceptance and finding joy and peace within the things, especially within the things that we can't change. If we know we can change them, then of course, why would we have any anxiousness about that? We just go ahead and change it. If you're upset about something, change it. If you don't like your job, change it. If you're going to complain about, and I'm so guilty of this, if we're going to complain about a relationship that we're in, a friendship that we're in, if we're going to complain about that person, change the way that they are in your life. However, don't let something that you can change be a reason that you're miserable right now in the present moment. If you can change it, why be upset about it? Why be anxious about it? Why be depressed over it if we can change it? Just change it. So the present moment is the only real thing. And we have access to the present moment by focusing on one thing. That's what meditation is. That's what yoga is too. Yoga and meditation are one and the same. Honestly, they are. Meditation is more so in the category of sitting in stillness and finding one thing to focus on. However, yoga is also a form of meditation in the sense that what you're focusing on is the movement of the body and is the breath. So, yoga is literally a form of meditation. So, focus on one thing. Number 2, let go of control. We don't actually gain any calm from trying to control things. We gain calm from letting go of control over circumstances, of our thoughts, over other people. Once we let go of control, we will notice that we have more peace. And the peace is what we're trying to attain anyways when we control things. But the shortcut to that, the easiest way to peace is to let go of control, which is harder than it seems. I'm not saying that any of these things are easy, but they are simple. They are simple. But sometimes we over analyze these things and we make them seem not as simple as they are, but they really are simple. Let go of control. Number 3, the present moment is the only real thing. So when we focus on that, it opens up the world of access to peace of mind. And that's it. Like I said, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy to let go of control. It's not easy to meditate at first. But when you allow it to become a daily habit and a daily practice, these things become an everyday thing that we do. It doesn't become such a hassle or such a burden to go and do. If we start with 5 minutes a day of focused attention, i.e., meditation, focusing on the breath, if you only have 5 minutes, start with 5 minutes a day. If you do have 10 minutes, do it for 10 minutes. But whatever we do, do it daily. And then in the moments when life is lifing, we'll know how to handle when life is lifing better because we practice handling when life lifes every single day when we meditate. So yeah, that's what I have for you all today. And again, if you're watching if you're watching on the replay, type something in the chat. Let me know what was one thing that you really want to practice out of the day 14 points. What is your favorite style of meditation? What's something that you think will really help you? And also, don't forget to give this live stream a thumbs up. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 15. All right, everyone. Peace and blessings.